You wake up to find a check made out to you for $1 trillion, more money than most countries have. A trillion is a 1 followed by 12 zeros, or a million millions. To grasp that scale, consider time. A NASA math lesson notes that 1 trillion seconds equals 31,546 years, longer than all of recorded history. If you counted $1 every second, you'd still be counting when our civilization's ruins had turned to dust. You have just 24 hours to spend it all, or the money disappears. At first, you think the challenge will be easy. You head to a high-end car dealership and buy Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and McLarens by the dozen. In fact, you buy the entire showroom. The total might be $12 million, but to burn through $1 trillion in a day, you'd need to buy a $12 million dealership every second. No matter how many supercars you stack in your garage, your trillion remains largely untouched. So you think bigger. You hire brokers to snap up the world's most extravagant yachts. The largest private yacht, the 590-foot Azam, cost about $600 million to build. Even if you bought 100 vessels that size, $60 billion in total, you'd still have $940 billion left. You then purchase the world's biggest cruise ship. Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas cost roughly $2 billion. You convert it into a floating festival. NBA teams play on its basketball courts. Every passenger receives a Rolex. Pop stars perform in the theater. After the show, you send the performers to the International Space Station on private trips that run about $55 million per passenger. Still, your trillion barely shrinks. Art might be next. $500 million paintings exist, but you soon realize a museum like the Metropolitan Museum of Art cannot be bought. It's held in trust for the public. Real estate. In 2019, a Manhattan penthouse sold for $238 million, the most expensive home sale in U.S. history. For you, that's the equivalent of spending around $60. It hardly registers. Buying dozens of skyscrapers or all the vacant apartments in New York would make only a dent. Maybe you need a mega project. You fly to the Middle East where record-breaking structures are everywhere. You decide to build a $20 billion artificial island larger than any in Dubai, complete with skyscrapers and theme parks. You also buy existing attractions, a giant picture frame, a colossal clock, dropping another $100 billion. Your bank balance still shows 9-digit numbers. Renting a country might work. In 2010, Liechtenstein was listed on Airbnb for about $70,000 per night, but even a full year's stay would cost less than $26 million. Pocket change. You consider buying Greenland, whose mineral riches have been valued around $200 billion, but Denmark and Greenland's leaders remind you that the island is not for sale. Frustrated, your thoughts turn to conquest. A stealthy F-35 fighter jet costs roughly $78 million, and a state-of-the-art U.S. aircraft carrier comes in at around $13 billion. Even 10 carriers and 100 jets, about $140 billion, barely eat into your fortune. By now, governments and the media have noticed your spree. You decide it's smarter to do some good. Medical debt charities such as Undo Medical Debt explain that every $10 donation can wipe out about $1,000 of hospital bills. A $2.2 billion gift would erase roughly $220 billion in unpaid medical bills. You could attack world hunger. The UN World Food Program estimates about $40 billion per year is needed to end hunger by 2030. Your trillion could fund that effort for 25 years. You think of paying down the U.S. national debt, but it stands at over $36 trillion and is growing by about $1 trillion every 3 months. A few $100 billion from you wouldn't make a dent. America's student loan debt is around $1.78 trillion, and the median household net worth for people under 35 is only about $39,000. Meanwhile, Federal Reserve data show that 37% of Americans lack enough savings to cover a $400 emergency expense. Clearly, your wealth exists on a different planet than most people's struggles. Turning toward the future, you invest in renewable energy. The Mammoth Solar Farm in Indiana will cost about $1.5 billion and produce 1.65 gigawatts of power. With a few $100 billion, you could build hundreds of such solar farms, powering millions of homes and cutting carbon emissions. You might finance research into fusion power, carbon capture, and climate adaptation, projects that could transform the planet. As the 24-hour deadline approaches, you realize that spending $1 trillion on luxury goods is almost impossible. More importantly, it is pointless. The only meaningful way to spend such money is to invest it responsibly, erase debts, feed the hungry, build renewable energy, support education and health, and prepare society for the challenges ahead. You set up a trust, allocate billions to eradicating diseases, exploring space, protecting ecosystems, and providing scholarships. When the clock finally strikes zero, the trillions you couldn't personally spend start funding these projects. You have learned that wealth on this scale is not about personal indulgence. It's about shaping the world for the better.